Good evening, everyone. This day is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. A lot is on the line for 10 drivers in this duel. A lot is on the line for basically 10 people, or 20 people, 19 people. How many people we have in this duel? So, we have a lot of guys that this one video, this one qualifying session is going to mean the world to them. We have 10 drivers in this first qualifying session. This qualifying session is going to be duel number 1. Everyone in this qualifying session is going to be in duel number 1. So, the guys' names that are rolling up on the screen right now, these 10 drivers, they are Go-Go homers, and they have to either qualify their way in today by being the fastest Go-Go homer today, or either race their way into the Daytona 500 from the duel. They have to finish in the top 2 in the duel to race their way in. This qualifying session is going to mean a lot to everyone. Everyone wants to be on the pole for the Daytona 500. If you're the quickest in this race, or if you're the quickest in this qualifying session, and you're also the quickest guy, if you're also the faster than the quickest guy in the other session, that means you are the pole sitter. So, everyone wants to be the pole sitter. Jeffrey Lynn was the pole sitter for the Daytona 500 last season. It was a big upset for him. It was his first ever pole. So, a lot of guys are gunning for the pole. A lot of guys are just gunning to be in the Daytona 500. Jordan Davis is on the racetrack right now. He is one of the guys that are going to be gunning for the pole position. He wants to start on the pole. He came really close in the shootout to winning. 1 lap short, blows an engine from running in second place. Davis thought he might have had a chance at getting Vince Allen on that last lap. He had him set up there, he said. But Davis here says he has a fast car. And Davis, this is his best chance than ever to win a Daytona 500. Up in front of him, Nick Pericles for Blue Flare. His only mindset coming into today, he wants to be the quickest Go-Go homer. He's got to be quicker than 9 Go-Go homers to be locked into the Daytona 500 just off qualifying today. Pericles has some high competition he's going to have to beat here today. He's got people like Chris Dodge, Stephen Blower III, Kyle Collins, Bradley Bishop Jr., Emma White, Charlie Smith, Rick Schultz, James Shelley, and Perkins are all Go-Go homers in this duel. Personally, I think this duel is the easiest duel to race your way in. I think duel number 2 is going to be the hardest one to race your way in. So qualifying your way in is going to be big here. Davis goes up to the top of the chart. Mace Enterprises. Davis has really worked hard here. Their team has really worked hard here. First right now, Nick Pericles in 7th. Matt Duncan, Luke Martin. Martin also had some problems in the shootout. Perkins has a past champions provisional to follow back on if he cannot qualify his way in, nor race his way in. Eugene Max and the number 24, he's right now 24th right now. Noah Hart in 8th. Emma White ran for Allen Family Racing full-time last season. Just a one-off deal here. This is Angel Navarro's ride for a majority of the races this season. Emma might be returning for a part-time ride for this season in this car, but she's going to try and get it into the Daytona 500. Aaron Taylor, right now not running the very best. Oh, he jumps up 5th. And then 3rd, right here for Andreas Allen. And then right behind him, James Shelley jumps up to 4th there. Wow, James Shelley jumps up tremendously high here. Good run for James Shelley right now. As we're looking here, the quickest guy on the board right now is Matt DeLeo, but the quickest Go-Go homer is Kyle Collins. So James Shelley still has some work to do, because Kyle Collins is a Go-Go homer as well, and he's drafting with Matt DeLeo. And DeLeo is the quickest on the board right now. DeLeo's trying to win the pole for the Daytona 500, while Kyle Collins, he's just trying to win, be the fastest guy on the board, and then James Shelley knocked him off. Wow, man! James Shelley jumps up on the top of the, right here in second. For Finn Guy Pistone for Nintendo Chevy. Oh my goodness! Jeffrey Finn Guy, the owner, was not real confident in their team's chances at making this Daytona 500, and Shelley is out here proving his owner wrong right now. Shelley drafting along the 43 and the 60 car. Right now, second on the board here. Matt DeLeo still the quickest right now. Kyle Collins is the second quickest Gorga homer. Then it is Sean Perkins. And then it is Charlie Smith. Down here, then it is Stephen Pollard the third. Nick Pericles, Chris Dodd, and Kyle Collins. Wow. Man, oh man. Rick Schultz is going to have some work to do. James Orfox and Richard Johnson are not making up good time. Bassinger is not doing well either. Boy, Sean Perkins in the 82 car jumps to the top of the board. Not top of the board, but top of the Gorga homers. Almost beat Matt DeLeo here. Sean Perkins and Noah Hart are flying around this racetrack. They got Eugene Max in the draft as well, but look at this, 217, 218. Sean Perkins is looking to try and beat Matt DeLeo's lap here. Here we come. Sean Perkins, he's side by side with Noah Hart. That's probably going to mess up Perkins. We'll see how they run here. At the line, does he pick up? No, he does not. Now, right here, Sean Perkins in the number 82 car here. I think Sean Perkins is in off of a past champions provisional. So, if Sean Perkins does not race his way in the qualifier, I still think that James Shelley could get in off time trial speeds. Sean Perkins is looking to be locked in off of his time trial speeds and not have to use his his past champions provisional. If so, that still means that James Shelley can get in on his time trial speeds here. Matt DeLeo in the 7 car. I wonder where he's at. Matt DeLeo is still out there running. He has nobody with him really, but he's got Kyle Collins with him. Looks like Matt DeLeo might be the fastest guy in this qualifying session for CBM. Looking here, they're not going too quick. But let's see here. Matt DeLeo across the line. Not enough there. Chris Dodd all by himself. He's going to need more than that. Here we go. Jordan Davis. Not going to be enough there. Matt Duncan jumps up there along with Luke Martin. The 3 car there of Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to have some work to do here. Boy, oh boy. Noah Hart. Look at there. Sean Perkins jumped up there. Watch Sean Perkins here. He's going to try and do it again. Perkins has got a fast lap going here. 216, 217, 218. Noah Hart's got the draft off the 3 car here. Perkins is probably going to beat the 7's lap here. We're going to have to see. He's got a big momentum here. Off turns 4. He had to get out of the gas there with the 3 car. Held these guys up a little bit. Let's see. This is the quickest lap so far I'm seeing. No, not enough. Actually, pretty far off. 2/10 off. Richard Johnson's not going to do anything on that lap. James Shelley, I think, could still get in on his time trial speeds here. Emma White, really slow. Hayden Klein, also really slow. Nick Pericles, Rick Schultz, James Sorfox, Jake Bassinger. Nobody's looking like they got a quick lap so far. As the time is ticking away. Charlie Smith and Kyle Collins are going to have to race their way in on Thursday. So is Chris Dodd. Luke Martin and Jordan Davis are trying to beat this lap here. They got one last lap. Malik Nevins and Jesse Turner's got to run here. Noah Hart Perkins trying to do the same here. Now these guys, they're not looking too quick. They're running pretty fast, but I don't know if it's going to be quick enough to beat Matt DeLeo's time. James Shelley, I think he's still going to get on time trial speeds, but at the line here, Martin, no, he jumps up. Everyone else does. Noah Hart just jumped up, and Malik Nevins is around. Malik Nevins got turned off the bumper of Sean Perkins, and Noah Hart jumps to the top of the board with a 41.97. Noah Hart had a blistering fast race car in the Sony shootout. He got put in the wall by Sky Commons, and that ultimately ended his chances at a win there. And Noah Hart, for qualifying, is going to be the quickest guy with a 41.97. Man, if the guys in dual qualifying number 2 can be faster than a 41.97, they will be on the pole. Now, if nobody in the next session is quicker than a 41.97 of Noah Hart's lap, then Noah Hart will be on the pole. It's going to all depend on it here. If the quickest guy in the next session runs quicker than a 41.97, they will have the pole. If they run slower than a 41.97, Noah Hart will be the pole sitter. So, let's take a look here. Here it is here. The 28 guys in this session here. These are the guys that will be in dual qualifying number 2. Or, these are the guys that will be in dual qualifying number 1 on Thursday. So this means that Noah Hart will have the pole for the dual qualifying session, and if nobody beats a 41.97 in the next session, Noah Hart will have the pole for the Daytona 500. Now, if Hart wrecks in the duel, then he wrecks out, then that means that Hart will have to forfeit his pole qualifying. So or anybody, just like anybody on the front row here. First, Noah Hart will either start first or second in the Daytona 500. All we got to find out now is if the quickest guy in dual qualifying session number 2 is quicker than Hart's lap here. And that will determine who either starts first or second. Now, Perkins is the quickest go homer in this qualifying. Now, the second quickest go homer in this session is James Shelley. James Shelley ran a 42.25. Now, for James Shelley to get in on time trial speeds, he will need this to happen. Now, earlier I did say that Perkins is in the show without a provisional. So Perkins is not going to have to use his past champions provisional. He's in on speed if he does not race his way in the Daytona duels, the twin 125s. If he does not race his way in there, he will fall back on his time trial speeds. No provisional needed. Now, James Shelley is the next quickest go homer in this session. Unbelievably, I'm really surprised that James Shelley was the second quickest go homer. Now, Shelley, he has a chance at falling back on his time trial speeds. He has a chance at upsetting and falling back on his time trial speeds. More on that in the second dual qualifying session. Now, will Noah Hart grab the pole for the Daytona 500, or will he start second in the Daytona 500? We're gonna have to find out how fast the fastest man is in dual qualifying session number 2, and we're also gonna have to see how the go homers in dual qualifying session number 2 line up in comparison to Shelley's time in dual qualifying session number 1. Know it sounds confusing, but I'll let you guys know how it's all going to go down at the end of session number 2. Welcome to dual qualifying session number 2. Times we are looking at 41.97. That is the time to beat for the quickest guy. The fastest man in this qualifying session needs to be quicker than a 41.97. That is the time everyone is gunning for. And that's what everyone is gunning for the pole. Now, 42.25. That is the time to beat for James Shelley's lap. And I will mention that later, why beating a 42.25 for the second quickest guy is important. So, here. Angel Navarro, he has not been in the series since season 14. It's been a long time. He's one of the few people that are returning to the series after a long absence. He's the first car to return. He's the first car to take to the track. And he's one of the 10 drivers in this session that has to qualify their way in or either race their way in. And somebody, man, was that Finn guy? Yes, it was. Finn guy, I think, just making an illegal exit there. Not sure what he's doing. Well, I don't guess Finn guy is getting a penalty for that. I'm not sure why he pulled up on the track like that. You're not supposed to do that. Drafted along with Ricky Johnson, both of these cars are Gorga homers, and they gotta go. The quickest man on the board has to beat a 41.97 in order to be the fastest man in town to get the pole. That's the time everyone's looking for. Angel Navarro is just looking to be the fastest Gorga homer, and right now that goes to Vince Allen's Red Bull car. And there's Dejan Weeks, a rookie. He's attempting to be in his first ever Sony Cup Series race. Up in front of him, that's Zachary Fitzwater. Jeff James looking for the pole here. Jeff James, he started second in the Daytona 500 last season. He ended up winning the Daytona 500 as well. He was the quickest man in his qualifying session, but he was not quicker than Jeffrey Lynn's lap, so he ended up starting second. And right now he's not the quickest guy on the board here. Where is the 84 car? There it is right there. Vince Allen right now is the quickest guy on the board. Vince Allen right now the quickest guy, but I expect the speeds to pick up because they are still not the quickest that I would think they should be. Right now Vince Allen trying to go around Kenny Maya. Maya has not been in the series since season 15. Maya in a one-off ride here, trying to make the Daytona 500. Does not have any sponsors on that car, which is actually really surprising. Jordan Fisher, right now in 11th. Zeb Stark, right now in 4th place here. Cooper Cyron just jumped up as well. He's up to 2nd. Looking for some people here. Zachary Fitzwater, he's got to go. He's one of the Gorga homers as well. Mason Gordon's a Gorga homer for Cloud9 Racing. They actually got sponsors for this race here. Cooper Cyron, like we said, is 2nd. David Culpepper, right now, in 14th. He's got to pick up some speed. Michael White's a Gorga homer as well. Matthew Rodriguez, someone jumps to the top of the board there. The number 9 of Sky Commons is the quickest man on the racetrack right now. Trent Targer is 2nd. The 83 car, Jacob Hart, is in 3rd as well. Sean Harple jumped up to 5th. The 84 car is still the quickest man in town right now of the Gorga homers. And man, someone just jumped around right there. 84 car is the only Gorga homer inside the top 10 right now. Nick Mays is really slow right now. He's in 20th. But he's in the quick pack right here. He might jump up to speed here. Angel Navarro needs to pick it up if he wants to qualify his way in on speed. William Brock is in on owner's points of last season. Then there's Dejan Weeks. He's got to qualify his way in. Teammates with Brock. Sanford, not the quickest man. Fitzwater, Red Bull. Right now the quickest Gorga home team, but it's not Fitzwater's team that is in. It is the 84 car. The next Gorga homer, right now the quickest people is the 84 and the 8 car. But Zachary Fitzwater is right now slower than James Shelley's lap. So that's going to help Shelley down the road here. Looking here, you still see Sky Commons Commons is the quickest man in this session right now with a 42.12. He's got to beat a 41.97 if he wants to get the pole. Right now, Commons would start second in the Daytona 500, and Noah Hart would have the pole. Jacob Hart in fourth, Sean Harple in sixth, Trent Togger in a good spot right now in second, but you need to be the quickest man in this session if you want to start on the front row for the 500. Because if you qualify second in this race, you could still end up being like 40th for the Daytona 500 starting grid. And in some cases, you could still miss the race here. If Vince Allen jumped up to the pole and the second quickest guy was a Gorga Homer, you could still miss this race. But right now, Allen looks good to get in on time trial speeds. But however, Zachary Fitzwater is pushing the margin here. Fitzwater in the 8 car. Where is he at? There he is. Now, Fitzwater is the second quickest Gorga Homer. He right now has a 42.26. He needs to pick up just, boy, 6/1000ths of a second slower than James Shelley. And I'm telling you something here. That's going to mean a lot right there. If Fitzwater, if one of the quickest guys in qualifying of the Gorga Homers races their way in, if one of them, like say Vince Allen actually qualifies his way in, then that locks in James Shelley before it locks in Zachary Fitzwater. But say Sean Perkins and Vince Allen both qualify their way in by racing their way in the duel, then that would lock in James Shelley and Zachary Fitzwater into the Daytona 500. So that little bit right there, that little bit of seconds right there that James Shelley is quicker in dual qualifying session number 1 than Fitzwater, that could help him here. With time ticking away here, Sky Commons is still looking like the favorite to be on the front row here. I think Nick Mace is giving up here. He's 16th on the board. He's got a little bit of work to do to pick up some speed here. Dylan Young in 11th. He's locked in the 500. So is Togger. So is Harple. Jacob Hart's at 4th right now. He had a quick car in the shootout. Dajan Weeks is one of the slowest cars on the grid right now. Jeffrey Finguy is as well. At least Finguy has one of his cars fast. James Shelley, he looks like he's probably going to get in on time trial speeds. That's in case if nobody jumps up here late in the going here and beats everyone right here. Right now, Ricky Johnson has some work to do. Vince Allen trying to keep it full throttle off the turn here. Trying to jump up here. He wants to grab the pole. Zeb right now 10th on the board. Time is ticking away here. Fisher needs to jump up here. Cooper Cyron. See what he runs here with Lamas. They're not going to pick up at all here. Not anything special. Now, Lamas did pick up a good bit there. He jumps up to 8th. And Matthew Rodriguez is in 15th right now. Culpepper needs to jump up more. Gordon's got a lot of work to do if he wants to race in the 500. Fitzwater looks like his speed is not going to be good enough to beat his teammate there to lock himself in. James Curtis not quick right now. Sanford not quick at all either. Brock right now running in 16th. Navarro is going to have to race his way into the Daytona 500. And Sky Commons is going to be on the front row for the Daytona 500. He is not going to be the pole sitter. The pole sitter is going to be Noah Hart in the 47 Toyota. Unless Commons comes back around and beats Noah Hart's lap, and I doubt that'll happen here. But Sky Commons is going to start on the front row for the Daytona 500 if he does not wreck in the duel on Thursday. So congratulations to Noah Hart on the pole here, and also to Sky Commons for getting on the outside of the front row. Those are the front row starters for the Daytona 500. We will know where they start. And Vince Allen in the 84 is going to be in the race. Vince Allen qualifies his way into the Daytona 500. Here is the finishing results of qualifying in duel number 2. Okay, some big news we got to lay out, and I'm pretty sure one driver, or like many people on one team, is going to be super excited about this news right here. Sky Commons, though, is not going to be happy that he did not beat Noah Hart's time. He did not beat a 41.97, so Sky Commons will start second in the Daytona 500. Noah Hart will start on the pole. But if they reckon the duels on Thursday, they will have to forfeit their Daytona 500 front row starting positions. Now, remember when I said James Shelley could still get into the Daytona 500 on his time trial speeds? Well, James Shelley is in the Daytona 500, and here is why. Sean Perkins was the only past champion of the Go-Ergo Homers. Sean Perkins was locked into the Daytona 500 no matter what this race weekend. If Perkins needed the past champions provisional, he would start 42nd. But we're not gonna need to use a past champions provisional. So that means that opens up another position in time trial speeds to get into the Daytona 500. Worst case scenario for all the guys high on the time trial speeds. If Allen and Perkins, who are already locked into the 500 on Thursday, do not race their way in, then the third quickest guy in qualifying of the Go-Ergo Homers, which is James Shelley, would get the 42nd and final starting position off of his time trial speeds. Now, if either Allen or Perkins race their way in on Thursday, that would lock in Shelley off of his time trial speeds, and then that would also lock in Fitzwater. But if Allen and Perkins race their way in to the Daytona 500 on Thursday, that would lock in Shelley, Fitzwater, and Kyle Collins. So that would give them some spots to get in on time trial speeds. But we do not know for sure. We do not know for sure if Fitzwater, it's unknown right now. It all depends on what happens on Thursday for Fitzwater, Collins, everyone. The only people we know will race in the Daytona 500 is everyone in the top 35 and Vince Allen, Sean Perkins, and James Shelley will race in the Daytona 500. And so this is all for me, Fuel the Bandicoot, and until the duels, goodbye.